My latest understanding is that there are just two people in particular, and we cannot say their names.
Can we say
if we say their names
that rhyme with their names?
I don't even want to attempt it. Really. Honestly, the beginning of this episode might be enough as is. I mentioned, but I don't. He's technically not.
He's not doing anything.
But he's not running, so I don't. I mean, mate, we'll find out. We'll see. I'll have to talk to my friends.
Can we use one of the nicknames?
I'll have to talk to my friends.
Can we just if we say that? Okay.
I think we should be all right.
Episode 79.
Let's try again.
How you feeling?
I feel good, man. It feels good to be back in the chair.
How was Easter for you?
Oh man, it was very, very busy. I don't remember Saturday. Sunday, we went to my mother-in-law's. No, I'm tripping. We went to on Saturday. We went to Moncton, Maryland.
Take the long journey.
Inverness Brewery had a Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
So that was cool. Tried a few beers.
Do your kids get really big into Easter? Is that a thing?
Well, my wife's.
I saw photos and stuff. Yeah.
It's very celebratory on my wife's side. So everything, birthdays, holidays, like everything's is an event. You got to find something to do.
Fun.
So yeah, it was cool, man. You know, had some beers, watched the kids run around, find eggs. My niece is like really, really, really competitive.
I thought you were gonna say she's really into eggs.
So she's weird. Like, she's 5, so I'm starting to like understand.
You're trying to hone the competitiveness now?
So I'm trying to like understand her personality. We went bowling a few weeks ago and she was like really into it, like really like intense about it.
Is that the sport that you're trying to push her into?
Maybe. Bowling? I got to start trying more stuff.
Like,
my kids are not going to be athletic.
Is there a major bowling league, female bowling league?
I think there is. There's female professional bowlers.
No, I don't doubt.
I think it really caps out in college, but I'm not sure how PBA professionals do.
I'm just curious. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really follow bowling all that much, so I'm not sure.
I don't either.
But that's great, man. I'm glad you had.
It was cool. How about you?
A good Easter. I was down south, Florida, hanging out.
Did you do any Easter related?
Nothing specific to Easter. No, I was around a lot of people that were, celebrating Easter. So I was like by proximity. Yeah. But I did not like attend a service or do any Easter egg hunts, anything of that nature. Just kind of, it was a vacation for myself and the wife. Just kind of chilled, relaxed. It's great.
Were any transgender people visible to you that day?
Transgender people visible to me that day? No. Were you concerned about that? Should they have been?
Well, Easter was also international.
Right. Thank you for saving us.
Right.
Yes, because that.
Got it.
I get you. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. What specifically was that? It was something that was signed into law?
46 said something about, I'm using numbers, not names. He came out that day and said it was what was the day?
So it's
the Day of Proclamation or something?
It's International Transgender Day of Visibility, which is March 31st.
Gotcha.
And it just so happened that Easter fell on March 31st.
Yeah.
Year.
I read about this, and then
but that fluctuates.
Caitlyn Jenner came out and said, "How dare he do this on Easter?" And then when she was Bruce, he had said something in supporting the day, and then when Bruce became Caitlyn, he's now damning the day. So I don't know what Bruce's or Caitlyn's
with their stance
is, given that angry post she made Sunday after.
Well, why don't you tell us what your stance is?
I don't even know what the.
That's all right.
So is it just like a day of visibility, like just to recognize?
I did not read. I saw some posts about it that like it happened, but I did not look into it at all. And I really don't know what it signifies.
So,
I
don't care, man. Rock on. Do you think?
International Transgender Day of Visibility is an annual event occurring on March 31st, established in 2009, dedicated to celebrating transgender people and raising awareness of decriminalization that transgender people face worldwide.
Okay. So it's kind of like a Pride Week kind of thing.
It's like a 1 day Black History Month.
Yeah, kind of in that space, maybe. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Fair enough. We'll go with that.
I think it's just it fell on Easter this year, and
they'll get a month soon.
You gotta. I guess the president has to weigh his options, right?
You can't say that word.
Weigh his options?
No,
I know. I'm trying to distract the algorithm, guys.
Because we're off to a good start.
This is going to be great, guys. It's going to be great.
What could possibly go wrong?
I know our allotted YouTube agent is just waiting for the upload, sweating. He's like, he knows Sunday nights. It's coming.
He knows it's coming.
You see, that's why we sporadically take weeks off. Let's just guard down. Bam!
You should just be like Candace Owens. Just get a Patreon. Charge $25.75.
I can be bought. We talked about this.
$25.75 and $150.
I can absolutely.
Speaking of can be bought, I know you're about to do that.
Oh no, go ahead, take your time.
I saw, I think it was in Apple News today. I forget what news outlet put it up, that the top seven of the top 10 podcasts in Apple Podcast were subscription-based podcasts, leading people to think that the algorithm favors podcasters that have some sort of premium offering. So,
do we offer a premium offering?
That would make sense, I guess, because I bet you Apple gets a percentage of that cut.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So they probably.
Do we want Apple to put us in a 360 deal?
I don't know that we make enough content as it is, because you'd probably have to do like multiple episodes a week. You'd have to have like
you got to be on Joe Rogan.
A lot of the people that I listen to on podcasts, like they have like a Patreon episode or a paid for. But it'll literally be like one episode is free, but then there's a second episode that week that you pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after hours.
Yeah, we're gonna have to spend a lot more time together.
Where we cuss.
Not a bad idea.
I mean, we cuss now.
And we only talk politics.
That's right. That's exactly what that episode is. Yeah. Exclusively.
I mean, there are already people who do it worse than us.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
That's fair.
Joe Rogan.
I think he's doing fine.
Yeah, and he's doing great.
All right. Heaven Hill, family owned since 1935, bottled and bond under U.S. government supervision.
Yeah.
All right. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. There's a lot of, the first thing I noticed about this bottle is there's a lot of words on the front of this bottle.
A lot of words.
Yeah. We went really over the top with logos and branding and
so what it's
like a book.
I went to a different you've been to the Woodhome Shopping Center where the Trader Joe's is on Reisterstown Road, right? And then the Wine Loft. They have a newer kind of alcohol, like hard alcohol section.
Okay,
and they're getting like craft whiskeys and stuff like that and bourbons and stuff. And this is one came highly recommended.
Oh yeah,
he said the significance of the bottled in bond is because it's a 7-year-old. The bourbon is 7 years old, but there's some significance to something that happened 4 years ago, and this being 7 years. So I didn't really get all of it, but if
bottled in bond is like a specific thing where like the government really like tracks what you're doing with the whiskey.
There you go.
Like it's certified.
I couldn't tell you.
So it's like it's certified like good product.
There we go.
Yeah, we almost in January we had it booked at work going to Heaven Hill to do a distilling event and then like mix our own whiskey to then have them barrel it and bottle it
nice.
And send it back to us with the bottle. Like it was going to be pretty cool. But my understanding of it is that to do the tour of the actual aging houses, like there is a government official that they have to request, like the key has to be checked out and then you use it for however long, then you return it and that kind of thing.
There we go.
A lot of prestige around it.
So yeah, I like the color. It's in a nice dark amber.
It does look nice. It's got I like the bottle. It's got a good weight to it. It's got a nice little cork top on there, which is also pretty great.
I didn't hear the pop.
Yeah, it didn't have a. It's a pretty muted. Like it's not like a. You know what I mean? But it is a nice top. It's, it's not, anyway. Kentucky Bourbon pays tribute to the earliest days of the distillery's history when in 1939 it released Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. The namesake brand quickly became the number one selling bourbon whiskey in the state of Kentucky. Still today, the craftsmanship poured into this bottle by the same founding family meets exacting standards first set forth in the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897. This historic offering reflects on the company's founders' firm belief it takes patience and perseverance to make something of great quality.
Wow.
So that's what we're tapping into, man. 1897. Why don't you jokes on that?
I didn't realize
Get into that.
how weighty it was.
They also make Elisha Craig, Evan Williams,
Larceny.
a bunch of Hypnotic.
Luna Azul.
You do say.
Take me back to 2003.
Hypnotic.
Buy me a drink by
I
T-Pain.
told Emily does not believe me when I tell her that there were some Hypnotic days, for sure.
I don't think I've ever had it
In my
actually.
youth. Yeah.
You never mixed
be
it
a wild
with
time.
with a little Hennessy and had an Incredible Hulk?
Used to be a wild.
I don't know what that even means.
Yeah.
It's an odd beverage.
Yeah.
It's time and a place.
It's very much so. I don't even know where to begin with the drink Incredible Hulk, but I know the last time I had it, and I said this will be the last time I ever have this again.
How many times did you say that?
One time,
Okay.
and I was on the floor. I know I was on the floor, and I was in bad shape. So here's to Incredible Hulks.
Now, given that we're a Baltimore podcast, we would have to touch on the bridge incident. So it seems
Yes, man. God bless the families who are affected by the Key Bridge
captivating the world as we speak.
incident.
The bridge.
Been getting a lot of national attention. I woke up that morning with crazy amount of notifications and messages. People,
Yes.
I've lived in other states. People checking to make sure I wasn't, or none of my family or friends were on or affected by it. How about you? Did you get a lot of?
I did not get. I got more notifications on my phone from like news outlets, things like that, social media and whatnot. I didn't have anybody reach out to me about whether or not I was on the bridge at that given time.
Yeah, I think it's a thing like people hear like tragedy, they don't know like that is nowhere even near proximity to us, but they're just like, oh my God, like what happened? What's going on? And so I got a lot of that.
Yeah, I got a few of those, and my fiance did not check on me. She was like, well, that happened at 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you were on that bridge at 1 o'clock in the morning, where were you going?
Damn, dude.
True.
Damn.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I felt like, yeah, that's fair.
Better stay off bridges, dude.
Damn it.
Especially late at night.
Yeah. Now,
Take the long way.
so we're going to talk about what happened, or do I?
I don't
R.D.
know.
Mayor.
Are we allowed?
I don't know. It's tough, dude. It's tough. I don't. You saw the footage.
I did.
Oh, this is interesting. You did see the footage.
I did.
Great. We've talked about that. We can discuss some of the electrical issues that they were experiencing. But before we get
That's
to
fun.
that, I believe it was today. I think it was today or yesterday that the owners of said boat basically filed in court. Basically, more or less a motion that kind of absolves them of any liability.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys read about this or saw anything about this.
I didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting article. I don't obviously have not like read any of the official like court filings or anything like that, but it was painting a relatively negative picture of said company. But apparently
Company
there's some
that we won't name.
yeah, there's some like maritime law or something that kind of protects them a little bit in situations like this. I don't know. It's older law. It's not something I don't think that's like super recent, but
Yeah, it basically caps their liability at the value of the ship and its cargo.
Yeah. Which I think the value of the ship was pretty high, but the value of the damage, they were saying,
Supersedes that by
quite a bit. So they were saying that I think the article that I had read, it suggested it was about $60 million in damage to the bridge currently, but they felt that could go up to I think it was $3 or $4 billion, like as far as the full scope of
the entire project. They got
of- yeah,
cleaning,
of the fallout,
getting stuff
more or
out,
less. Yeah.
rebuilding.
And profits lost from not being able to.
Yeah, all the boats that are like jammed up right now. Like it's how far out can you take it? So I don't know. We'll see. Interesting. But I will say, the footage was curious. Slightly curious.
Okay, makes me raise a few questions.
I need somebody to come out and explain. I feel like I need somebody to come out. Maybe they've done this. I've not seen it yet, but I need somebody to come out and explain to me what happened. Maybe they're still trying to like piece that all together. I've not heard. I keep hearing electrical failures, electrical issues. The boat makes what appears to be some odd maneuvers in and around the time of the electrical failure.
Sure.
Which
we saw the map.
Could be reasonably explained away, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
the map
did seem odd.
The map that you had sent, I didn't really go too much into it aside from calling you an idiot in the group message. But the video of the track, that video, what you kind of lose track of in your mind when you're seeing it is that video is 20 seconds long showing the track, but that process was really a 45 to 50 minute process.
Right.
Like it slowly moved over to that side over a period of like 5 to 7 minutes. So it wasn't like right at the end, it came in for the, boom, came in for the kill. But yeah, I think a lot will come out, investigations.
Sure.
Sure. But I think it'll take several months to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Another thing is where it started to make that deviation is where another channel joins in. So low pressure from that channel would potentially naturally cause it to drift to the right. But
this
who
is
knows?
why this is why we have Josh on the show.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see
so
when.
We're here talking about low pressure water systems,
which I didn't even know was a thing.
You live and you learn. On my flight, speaking of planes, not really, but of Josh and Aviation Corner.
That's
really.
me.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
A
lot of turbulence on the flight. A lot of odd noises.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did the plug survive? There was probably no plug.
Was this a Boeing?
It was a Boeing. This was Southwest. We were traveling,
Yeah.
on one of those bad boys. And when it took off, there was some significant
noise
jostling. Very odd noise. Emily just about flew out of her seat. And then on the way
She's
in,
got to stay off TikTok.
And then on the
I feel like that'd really make her mental health a lot better.
Oh, dude, what social media in general has done for Boeing is, the damage is so great.
Yes,
because nobody would probably talk about this stuff to that degree at all, like ever probably. But people just go nuts. I get videos now still about planes and weird crap that's happening like on a daily basis. It's insane. Like, I don't know how Boeing gets out from underneath of that.
I know.
What? Tell us.
I can't.
Okay. All right.
Know.
They did get rid of the CEO, and I believe some
and some other people
of the board did perhaps step down. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I was thinking of you in that moment as the plane shook.
What would Josh do?
As you thought you clenched your seat and for that life raft, that vest under the seat.
I knew I should have bought that parachute.
I mean, just know that should the plane ever go down while I'm on it, I'm going to be like, Josh won't believe this.
As I'm sitting in the chair that gets sucked out of the exit room.
Exactly.
You will not
find your phone sitting on in a lay-by. This is all that's left of him.
As I plummet to earth, just
titanium stood up well.
Just know that I'll be thinking of you and your disbelief of the wreckage. But moving on to lighter fare, another Matrix movie's on its way. I don't know if you saw this.
Really?
I'm sick of this
shit.
It's coming back, baby.
Is it a sequel to?
It's coming back.
The one that came out over the pandemic.
I didn't read whether or not there was going to be ties or connections directly from that. Not Resurrections. Revolutions was the third one, wasn't it? Reloaded.
No, that's the second one.
Retcon.
Resurrections.
I
think I said Resurrections.
2021.
So I didn't read whether or not this had direct ties to it or not, but I think one of the Wachowskis, they're coming on as a producer, but it's going to be basically a new director and I think new writing team and all that. So it's going to be a bit of a departure.
One of the twins are back.
Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a departure from the prior 4, just given that they're not going to be as directly involved as what it seems.
Okay.
But buckle up. It's on its way.
I'm here for it.
The last one wasn't great. I thought it was a good opportunity.
It was more of a return
the
to form.
franchise, but
yeah, kind of
I
bring
just didn't
back
feel like it was that
everybody.
awesome.
And I kind of just watched it for what it was. I don't think I had.
That was a COVID video, a COVID movie that
COVID
came
movie,
out.
yeah.
I think that came out streaming.
Yeah, it was straight to Max.
Straight to streaming. That was that 1 year Warner Brothers sent everything to streaming.
Call it penny.
One of the biggest waste of 2.5 hours of my COVID. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you really didn't like it?
No.
Okay.
Wow. Were you a fan of the original trilogy? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Of course, my fandom for it goes in rewatching it as a teenager, because when they first came out, I was a kid. But I was really a fan of The Matrix, the concept of this is what's around you is not real. And you have the option to see what's really going on and fight the powers that be. And like, that's awesome. And the way that they went about it was so great. And then in the newest movie, just a lot of things fell flat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot. I mean, I didn't expect for it to be like, Passion of the Christ or anything, but I think it just kind of like
Big PC fan, huh?
Can we say that? Is that also off limits?
Mate,
Religion?
Jesus?
PC2's coming
Don't
out.
say his name.
Are you excited for that one? They're making a sequel.
Is it about Easter?
I don't know.
It's gotta be about Easter.
I'm not really sure. I want to say, Josh could probably look it up. I think that the synopsis for it is out.
The death and the resurrection. He's only got a 2-parter.
Does he though? Because you can.
This is from November 6th. This is an old article.
I want to say like the general synopsis was available, but I could be wrong.
Our resident
2025
religion guy.
It's about the resurrection.
It's about he's got
The film's focus on the harrowing of hell based on Catholic visions could generate controversy and make it challenging for Gibson to garner the same evangelical support he received for the first movie.
I mean, outside of Mel Gibson being a tool, I enjoyed PC 1.
PC 2 is probably not going to go well.
Probably not if Mel's involved. People don't really. I'm not gonna say people don't really like him anymore. He's just a tool.
Wow, this is really old news. Newsweek had published all this in July of last year.
I don't know if we're checking for. Are you checking for PC2?
Well,
no, but like I see that
but
I see like the articles about it periodically. It's been in development for a long, long time. Like Mel Gibson has been speaking about it for.
Why does it need so much development? I mean, you got the source material.
Well, so here's the problem.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily have the source material. Because on what the synopsis that Josh gave, that aspect of that falls much more into the lore category of Christianity than into the actual biblical canonical things that happen.
The Shakespeare version. You got the Shakespeare version. There you go. Okay.
JC's Dark Years, huh?
So they're talking about a point where Jesus supposedly goes to hell, and when he's dead,
right,
he goes to hell and kind of like
the stuff we don't see,
stuff that the Bible doesn't actually mention.
Copy.
Catholics have taken on a real like, this is what happened, when the rest of the Christian community kind of doesn't really agree.
Up for debate.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get like a director's cut.
I wouldn't mind that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some different endings.
Who can we get to narrate it?
So the Christian community is going to be real divisive amongst the Jesus people.
I was gonna say Caitlyn Jenner, but
the two of them together. Napoleon, do you watch that? You check it out? It's streaming on Apple TV now after 7 months.
we did talk about it, and I was like, I had a mental block about watching it because I didn't think that. I thought Napoleon was like 5'2".
No.
And then it come out that he's just a regular sized man.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of like.
I mean, he was 5'6", so he was, a little shorter than average. No offense.
None taken. I guess.
So the historical inaccuracies around his height is what threw you off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's got a whole lore now. Like,
are we going to use lore the new word? It's been used twice
lore?
now.
Is it, what is this? A stigma attached?
No. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking if that's going to become the new word.
It's stigmata. Just kidding. Listen, just bringing it all
You got to
back
go to the
around.
doctor, get that removed.
Well, you're not going to
Did
care
you
about
watch
this
it?
bit of news. No, not yet.
But it's getting a sequel?
No.
He's dead, right?
So there was
Like, he died in the first movie, right?
There was a very hyped and widely discussed 4.5-hour version of Napoleon. The director's cut that Ridley Scott was very passionate about. And Joaquin Phoenix talked about it quite a bit. And Apple has indefinitely shelved said 4.5 version.
Oh, wow.
4.5-hour version of Napoleon.
Yeah, that's probably good.
And we don't know if and
It's probably best that
will
they
it
don't
ever
release
come
it.
out, or when rather. But
And I just haven't really been a fan of these really serious movies that Apple Studios are like the Will Smith, the Denzel Shakespeare, and now this Napoleon. Like they're not really, they don't move the needle for me, you know? Like I'm just kind of like,
Is
Apple's brand of-
Is it that they don't move the needle, or are they just not good?
they're not good.
that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not good.
not all of the above. They're
Apple's
not good.
brand of like movies, TV shows, that like space that they are in is
Very niche and weird.
it's not good.
And I just don't understand why they can't just find an avenue and just kind of stay in it. Because like some stuff's good, but it's not great.
Yeah, I
and
would
then
say some
stuff's
stuff is
bad.
good. I mean, we really liked Severance.
Severance, I like.
Severance is solid.
Shrinking, I like.
Ted Lasso is great.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah, like
yeah.
the show. Actually, most of the shows are pretty good. The
Horses
their
is
movies
great.
Yeah,
stink.
Slow
they're
Horses is good, yeah.
they're kind of I feel like on the scale of shows though out there,
They're still on the lower.
none of them pop. Like they don't have a Stranger Things, they don't have a Sopranos, they don't
None
have
of
a
them
Game
cross
of
over
Thrones.
into pop culture.
Well,
and
They don't have a Dexter.
Ted Lasso was that show for them, I think.
Okay.
Ted
Okay.
Lasso was the one.
Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
But it's canceled. So
Maybe.
there you
I mean,
go.
it went for 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's long enough.
I saw like the first couple episodes, and I got to be honest, I did not.
I love that show.
If you like, if
Ted
Didn't
Lasso.
get it, dude. Didn't get it.
I love that show.
Maybe I got to stick with it longer. I don't know.
Maybe.
I enjoyed
It's
it.
like a 3-4
Yep.
show
I
kind of.
really
Yeah,
liked it.
it gets kind of goofy, because I mean, it gets goofy because there's not really anything of substantial substance, right? It's very, very face value of like the stuff that's happening in the show, relationships, football.
I think I
people were
imagined
involved,
Tim
yeah.
Cook enjoying it, and that made me dislike it
He definitely
because
enjoyed
he
it.
liked that show too much.
Oh yeah,
Too much. It was
and
like-
then
it
I
became
think
his whole like shtick in life.
I think for Tim, right, it was a thing where like he liked it, and then he saw like people actually like it, and then his whole personality became
I like Ted Lasso.
I
So
like
do
Ted
they.
Lasso, right? Because if you guys like Ted Lasso, you gotta like me.
That's right.
And I greenlit Ted Lasso. I just couldn't. I don't know. I wonder how he is at happy hour. Hope he's not like talking about Ted Lasso like all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, I guarantee you that's
He
his icebreaker in life.
at the Mac Cafe. He's just like,
So you
"See,
know,
you saw the last
you
episode, right?
know when I greenlit Ted Lasso,
Right. That's his not iPhone or silicone processors. It's Ted Lasso.
He's holding on.
You
to
know
it.
me and Sudeikis.
It's not Face ID. It's not Touch ID. It's not getting rid of Johnny Ives. It's Ted Lasso.
Johnny got rid of himself.
Oh yeah. Good.
Yeah, man.
Velma 2. Remember?
Season 2?
Season 2. You didn't like Velma season 1.
I don't think I saw it.
We definitely talked about it on this
We
show.
talked about it.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
had
think I
great
saw it.
disdain for it. It was widely hated.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her name?
Don't you remember?
Mindy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very chaotic show. Very bad reviews.
Yeah.
Somewhat trashed
Yeah. I remember now.
given its
It kind of came and went.
take on
It just
the
kinda-
Scooby-Doo franchise.
Yeah.
Season 1 was, it was definitely viral for a short period of time based on the negativity, like the negative
Yeah.
feedback.
That sucks.
But season 2 is back this month.
I don't know if taking something that's so clean and just rubbing that much dirt on it, like Scooby-Doo is just kind of like it's a kid's show. It's a kid's show, right?
I agree.
How dare they?
And I get it. You kind of want to give it a new approach and make it appeal to adults, but there are ways to do that which work. Like, for example, X-Men 97, which just came back on Disney Plus, is clearly themed for the crowd that watched it 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's back and it's themed for adults, but it's on Disney. Mm-hmm. So there's ways to do it that aren't just so like tits, ass, and murder and vulgarity. I don't know. It's like making the Flintstones a porn. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't.
And for me, I think it would be different if it wasn't based in high school.
That too, right? There's a lot of vulgarity based around it. They try to give it like the Daria approach and then turn it up 10 notches surrounding like murder and solving crimes.
It's like Euphoria for kids.
Yeah, like nah. Like, this is wild.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love Mindy, and I get it for what it is. I just don't think it works in this dynamic. I don't know. But it got greenlit. Somebody watched it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I don't mind it.
No, I don't mind it. I just don't think it works. Yeah, I don't think it works. But somebody does. Somebody at Warner Brothers thinks, this is the bee's knees. So,
3-Body Problem.
Started the first episode.
You started this?
It's an interesting show. Did I finish the first one? Yeah, actually I did. I did finish the first episode. And I will finish it. It's interesting. I didn't know what I was watching getting into it. My wife Chanel showed me the headline. She was like, the showrunner like killed a producer. And I'm like, is the show that good that he killed a guy? And she was like, apparently. And I was like, all right, so we'll watch it. And I watched the first episode and I'm in. I'm like, this is cool.
You're saying a showrunner killed a producer?
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes.
Or a producer killed someone that worked on the show, killed another person that works on the show. You didn't see this?
I'm on it.
All right, thank God.
Thank you.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't know that happened.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I know the boys from Game of Thrones, this is their new show.
Yeah.
This is their show.
It is, yeah.
That's the one thing that's keeping me around.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not that into it.
Yeah, it's not that good.
What you got?
It's
James?
okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not great.
On Christmas Day 2020, Lin Chi, founder of Yuzu Games and an executive producer on 3-Body Problems, died after ingesting a poison beverage with 4 others becoming ill. An executive at Yuzu Games was sentenced to death for murder in March 2024, the day after the series premiered on YouTube. Lin purchased the rights to the book franchise and hired a lawyer in 2017 to manage the rights to the novels. The poisonings were an attempt by Yao to take control of the subsidiary company that owned the rights to the series.
Forget the show. I want that as a show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
That's Knives Out 3. Like, that's what I need. I don't need this. I don't need 3-Body Problem anymore. Give me that.
Give me the poison problem.
God bless the dead, whatever. But
That's crazy.
I want to see that.
Yep.
That's the story.
Pretty crazy, guys.
I'd even watch the documentary on that. That's crazy. Where do you get that type of poison from? What dark web?
Couldn't tell you. You just gotta watch. You gotta watch Emperor's New Groove. It might kill you or turn you into a llama. So it's hit or miss.
There you go.
Definitely can't talk about that on the show.
The dark web?
No, how to kill people, how to poison and kill them.
Oh no, I was just inquiring.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Just
Hypothetically,
clearly.
if
I can see why these people don't like us now.
just offline.
who are these
Offline.
people,
Yeah.
Talk about murder offline.
But
You know.
you know them.
But 3-Body Problem, the show, pretty good.
So you enjoy, well, you're one episode in.
One episode.
I'm gonna take that.
I will watch it. I will continue to watch it. It involves, from what I gathered, it involves like some universe manipulating tactics and time travel and aliens and whatever. Yeah. So
yeah, it's gonna get pretty chaotic.
We just got through the lights flickering, so the stars flickering.
That's a big moment.
Yes, that's kind of what caps episode 1. So yeah, I will pick it back up. I will continue.
Very good. Do you want to talk to us about Diddy?
No.
No.
Do not.
The diddler.
I think it's
The diddler.
The diddler.
the diddler.
Diddy the diddler?
Okay, so last week, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever moniker you
Are you talking to people that have been in a coma for the last 30 years?
Yeah. A lot of people.
Could be.
Yeah, you could, not know.
You just came out, you fire up YouTube, you find us.
You
made a wrong turn.
Context
somehow.
is important.
There's no way if I went into a coma 20 years ago and you tell me the guy from More Money, More Problems, the guy that produced More Money, More Problems, is now being investigated for sex trafficking, like I'd be like, no way. But then you watch the story.
Sure.
For the past 20 years, you're kind of like,
Is that all he's being charged or like being accused of? Is there like a full breakdown? Not full breakdown of like all the intimate things, but like, is there all of the things that they're
like
charging
all
him
of it.
of? Like like sex trafficking,
drug trafficking. There's
assault.
a lot of stuff in this. And then there's multiple lawsuits.
Like, what are people
as
coming
well.
after him for?
I don't know what the federal investigate. They haven't really detailed like what that is about and why his houses got raided.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they're
seems
saying
pretty
it has
serious,
to imply about a sex trafficking ring or what have you. And then there's the lawsuits that surround different things. That
there's 5 civil suits in the last 5 months. I can like read it through and then summarize.
And that is unrelated to
this federal
investigation. I mean, or it could be related to, but
I don't know specifically. I just know like what's in the news, and it's just I think it's an unfortunate telling that this guy has just always been surrounded by negative energy. Like, he does great music, and then there's these really, really dark moments that just kind of cloud everything about him. And then you kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt, like just with every, person that you may have liked something that they've done, like, did they do it? Like, let's whatever. But then like, you think of all of these dark moments and you're like, yeah, they did that shit.
Here we go. So a singer who had been in a decade-long relationship with
Cassie,
Diddy, right, filed lawsuit in New York federal court in November alleging sex trafficking, human trafficking, sexual battery, sexual assault, gender-motivated violence, among other causes of action. She alleged that she became lured into and eventually trapped in a decade-long pattern of abuse involving forced drug use, rape, battery, and forced sex acts with male sex workers. Wow. She settled the lawsuit the next day. However, the suit spawned several more alleged victims to come forward.
Yeah, apparently the law in New York is there's no time constraint now. The Survivors Act, that if you are a victim of any type of crime under those.
Now, does the crime have to take place in New York, or do you have to just live in New York? How does
that part I don't know.
Place in New York,
it has to take place
in
New York.
It doesn't matter when it happened. You can come forward and say this happened to me, and then it gets investigated. So she did that. Cassie, she was a singer, and she did it. She came forward and did the lawsuit. She ended up settling, but it just kind of gave.
It became a one-man Me Too.
Kind of like snowballed.
Yeah, it snowballed into more people coming out and saying that, he did. There was like another producer and like a few other people that worked with him intimately, not in that way, but like business wise. Mm-hmm. And it's just weird. That's weird. And then it led into this thing, his house is being raided, and I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not looking good, and I soon think he may be sharing a cell with R. Kelly. Pretty soon, man.
Well,
yeah.
Somebody will be screaming, take that, take that, take that.
Yeah. Now,
too soon?
No.
There are rumors I guess that there might be some other people
involved
in this, some other
names
big
that
well.
have been insinuated or mentioned.
Do you think that there is more to come? Do you sit back and feel like, okay, yeah, like there's probably a lot of people involved in this, a lot of, major players, or do you think that this is like people are trying to?
I don't know. I saw mention of. I saw someone mention. Yeah. Twitter goes down crazy dark rabbit holes.
Yeah.
And you follow them.
I do.
Pass that over. Actually,
I saw someone mention that Jay-Z was implied in one of the lawsuits, and that's why he's been really quiet, and no one can really, I don't know. I don't know.
That's one of the people that I have heard that is kind of potentially connected to some of these things.
I've heard Drake. I've heard pretty much any person that's taken a picture with Diddy has now been implemented or implied to have some type of wrongdoing. And, you think about, all the times that you may have, just because, think back to like Epstein Island, right?
Little St. James.
What'd you say?
Little St. James?
Yeah. Just because you were there doesn't mean you did anything wrong, right? Just because you took a picture with him doesn't mean you did anything wrong. But then there's like, Did you? Sure. We've all been in, precarious situations where we were out partying and the party kind of went that way and went into a closed room and you were like, yeah, I'm going to go home now. Like, all right, this is not for me. I don't know what they're doing in there, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm out. And it kind of turns into, you got to wait until the facts come out. But with, Diddy, concentrated on him. No, I don't know. I don't think you get all of this bad press all the time and you're not
guilty of something. Yeah. So you think his goose is a little cooked here? Yeah, man.
It's unfortunate. Given, what he's contributed to hip hop over the past 30 years. But at the same time, man, you can't do those things if it's true. You just can't. There's no moral or there's no moral compass that says, I mean, it was one time. No. There's any of the stuff that they're implying that you did is absolutely wrong. And if you're vindicated, it is what it is. But if not, then.
And he's on the run.
Is he though? I said that I because he's like in Miami, like hanging out.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he took off.
So when did they raid the houses?
Are they not searching for him?
Last week, Tuesday or Thursday, right? And they raided his
all the houses.
All of his houses, but he was on a jet at the time.
Yeah, but don't they want him too? Or they just want his houses?
So I spoke to a lawyer friend and she said it's one of two things. It's, first of all, a federal judge. The feds have a 99.6 conviction rate. They're not willing to risk that on Puff Daddy, right? So if a federal judge signs a warrant for the federales to go in and get what they need, they know exactly what they're getting and they know exactly what they want. It may not be him. It may just be something to build a case on him, right? So they're not wasting their time. They went in and got something, even if he wasn't there. So I was thinking maybe it was they knew he wasn't going to be there, and this is the perfect time to do it because they knew if he was there, it could, potentially, he could cause a blockade, like he wouldn't cooperate, XYZ. And this was the perfect time to do it because he's not home. Let's run in and get what we need and we can get out. So I don't know if they wanted him, but it doesn't seem like they did because pictures of him hanging out in Miami.
He's not like on the
on the lam. He's not on the lam.
Yeah.
Right, great.
He's just kind of, there was pictures of him at Topgolf with his daughters in Miami.
Thought maybe there was like a worldwide manhunt.
He went to a club. Like I don't think the warrant was for him. I think it was for items on his property. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good for Puff Daddy.
No, it is not. Definitely is not. How about this whiskey, my guy?
It's great.
I think
Got high marks over here right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it's pretty good. It did have an initial bite, but I think I enjoy that bite. It lets me know that I'm drinking a real bourbon, not the cheap stuff. It is full of flavor. I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. Good job, Heaven Hill.
How much did you?
This one was 61.
Price points on?
$61, I believe. Something like
What's the
that.
Beltway price?
I'm on it.
What's it cost?
Which one is
lease?
this? The 7-year?
7 year.
Bottled in bond, 50. I'm sorry, 54 at Towson.
Oh, okay.
So not bad.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Not mad at it.
Pikesville.
I put it at that price point. It's yeah. It's not as, it's got a little bit of a bite.
Yeah, it's got a bite.
Like it doesn't roll off super smooth, but the flavors are good. And to your point, like if you want to have a whiskey, like if you want to taste it, you know.
A drop of water or two probably open this right
Yeah,
up on
that's
the
true.
rocks.
Ice would probably be good with it.
Yeah, but this is
Something like
good,
that.
man. This is I'm happy with the purchase. Shout out to Heaven Hill.
There you go, man.
God's name. God bless America.
You caught up on Shogun?
Someplace else?
I am caught up on Shogun. Are you watching Shogun? yet?
I'm 3 or 4 episodes in.
So what I did was, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode. So what I did was I watched the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I was completely lost as far as like the relationships and the names. I couldn't put names to faces.
Yeah.
And it was really tough because you're concentrated on the subtitles because you don't want to miss anything. So what I did, I rewatched episode 1 and 2 with audio descriptions on. Killed it for me. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Now I know exactly what's happening. And yeah, man, it's real it reminds me of Game of Thrones, kind of.
It does have a little bit of that energy to it.
Yeah, it's got some
That's
Game of
true.
Thrones energy.
I don't love the main character, the young guy, the pirate,
The engine? Blackthorn?
the pilot. Yeah, pilot.
Blackthorn? Yeah.
He's
He's a
him.
little weird
Him as an actor, I don't know. It just bugs me a little bit. I don't know if I find him that.
appealing.
I don't find. Yeah, he just feels out of place to me. Like everybody else feels very like.
I mean, he is
They
a
all
fish out
feel
of
like
water.
very good. No, but they're like, as far as actors and actresses go, they all feel like they're just a caliber above him. He feels a little bit. I don't know.
Do you think that it could be the character though?
He's like he kind of feels like an off-brand Kit Harington or something to me. Like they wanted that, but they got
This guy.
this guy.
Got you.
I don't know. There's just something about him that feels like he's trying a little too hard.
But that's also, and maybe that's him.
I don't know.
And maybe
I get
take
it.
that
I don't
as
like
his
him either.
Character,
Yeah.
because his character is very much that.
Yes. There's just some I don't know. Maybe I'd see him in something else. There's like times where I feel like he's just trying a little too hard and he's a little too confident in his character. And I feel like you would be a little bit not so that, like you wouldn't be that much that way in that position.
I don't know.
He feels a little too just.
We're talking about the same period of time where they are, I guess, settling the Americas
And also,
and other stuff. You know what I mean?
he's playing a British guy at the top.
Who
of
thinks
the-
that their
at the
SHIT
top
don't
of the
stink. You
British
know what I mean?
Empire.
Sure.
And
Yeah, I was very off put by him
he-
in the beginning. I'm
he
like,
thinks-
he's,
Maybe he grows on you. I
he
don't know.
thinks
No, he does. I hate him.
Okay,
I
great.
still hate him.
He thinks he's the creme de la creme, quite literally.
Yeah, and I would think that, being who, he's in the Royal Infantry, right? I guess that's what you would call it. He's a naval pilot. Is that right, Josh?
No, he's a pirate.
Yeah, for the what do you call
Not
it?
for the British crown, for his own profit. But he's in these waters. Him and his crew are in these waters pretending to be under the British crown to save their lives.
Oh yeah, I pretend to. That's right. They had that conversation in the dungeon.
So-
yeah.
The Portuguese know exactly who he is, exactly what he does.
Oh, just kill those guys.
They can't.
Yeah.
Because now he's in the good graces of
Of
The Emperor.
Taranaka-sama.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Tara Nagasama.
Exactly.
It's good, man. It's good. It gets better. There's some fluff, of course. It's TV, but it's dope. I didn't expect it to be so brutal. It has that Game of Thrones brutality to it, especially like episode 4. Did you get to episode 4?
I think I want to say, I know I've done 3 episodes. I can't remember if I've done 4.
Okay,
I just got done with them diving off the boat to go swim in the water.
That's the last I remember.
Diving off the boat.
Yeah, they like get together and they're being
When
weird.
he saves them and he's like,
Yeah, they want to swim together.
Yeah.
And he's like, dive for me. Dive for me. And he dives for him.
Episode 3?
Yeah, that's episode 3.
And the Shogun is like, I'm going to dive.
He's
All his shows on.
yeah, he's current. In 3, he's training the Cannon Regiment.
Oh, yes.
Right? So 4 is where it really turns up. That's where you get the conflict in 4.
Great.
3 is building up to, okay, these are the sides. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
In 4 is where it comes to a head. Like, oh, okay, now we kind of see like where the conflict is, and then 5 is, meh. But all in all, I'm very much enjoying it. It's
Fully bought in.
Yeah, I'm fully bought in. I'm up to date. Yeah. And it's tough because, like I said, I did the first 2 with the audio descriptions, as if I were a blind person, and it just kind of told me everything that was going on. Got through that, and now I'm back to just watching the subtitles again, and I'm feeling like I'm missing stuff. So I watch it. Got to watch it once with the subtitles and read as you're going, and I watch it again just to kind of like I can passively look over and kind of see stuff. Yeah. So yeah, man, Shogun. Thumbs up from me.
Pretty solid. All right. I think that wraps us up. Unless you got something else you want to talk about.
I didn't talk about none of this news. You got
that's a very old list. Vision Pro is on that list. The Cat Williams interview is on that list.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an old list. Rebel Moon.
How do I turn the edit history on? Like I can see it over here, but
Courtney made
it's not
edits
highlighting.
at 7:04 p.m.
Oh, you just changed the number. I thought you had changed something more significant
today.
Yeah, this
Is
is
this you?
this is a very old list.
It's a very old list.
This is you right now, right? Doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there was more changes because I saw that it had changed 704, but you had just changed the number.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been substantial edits haven't been made since the middle of January.
Yeah, this is an old list. It's got a bunch of old stuff on it.
Yeah, welcome to 2024.
Yeah, that's right, dude. Get used to it. All right. So episode 79.
Go O's.
That's it.